What's going on, YouTube? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today on Litecoin. Right now we're sitting at $198.72. We're up about 3%. What I want to do is piggyback off the last Litecoin video that we did. We're going to be looking at Litecoin on the one-day time frame here. Last time we were looking at Litecoin, it was about $184, and I was telling you I didn't think Litecoin was done here. And as we continue to bounce in this symmetrical triangle, we're getting this next part here. So you can see we set our higher low. We found support off this lower trend line. That's exactly what we wanted and we were looking for. So we want to continue to defend that area, and now what we're doing is coming up to an overhead resistance area, and that's going to be roughly at about $200, so that big round psychological number. And what it's going to do is take continued volume to get up through that. Now, one thing I want to do for us today, and this is going to be all on the one-day time frame, I'm actually going to look at the encyclopedia of chart patterns and talk to you about a symmetrical triangle and how high we potentially could go here if we do end up getting this breakout. Now, according to the encyclopedia of chart patterns, what we're looking at here is a symmetrical triangle. It ranks 16th out of 23. The average rise is about 31%. So one thing I want to point out here with symmetrical triangle, you can see we had the lower highs coming in and higher lows. So what I want to do is take 30% here, about 31% from a potential breakout area that we would have. If we go up around 30% there, that could put us to around that $275 to $285 if we do end up getting this upside breakout. And in terms of the encyclopedia of chart patterns, it's more for stocks. Many times cryptocurrencies will even outperform that. So sometimes I even look to some of those higher areas. The main overhead resistance areas, like we talked about, 200, and then it's going to be roughly around 228, then it's going to be around 238 up to that 268, and then 307. And also, guys, if you get something from these videos, I got so much to show you here in terms of coin market cap, a bunch of stuff. If you get something from these videos, you like me covering Litecoin, let me know down low. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let me know what you're doing with it. Are you longer term investing? Are you trading? And how high you believe Litecoin could end up getting this market cycle. So what we've also noticed here is with the RSI, you can see the RSI is at 54. We're not in any overbought conditions. We're looking good there, pointing up. Main thing is just that volume. I want to continue to see that. We've had a stock cross to the upside, so that's another nice thing we want to pay attention to. Typically when we get up in those oversold conditions, or overbought conditions, we'll get that downward cross of the stock here, and that's when typically you can see with this bearish engulfing candle, we end up moving to the downside. And why it's important to pay attention to these things, guys, even off that bearish engulfing, if you just closed out your position there, we went down 21%. Okay, and that's just looking at the stock here along with the RSI and the candle patterns at resistance. That's what I like to do. You can see here as we pushed up, look at our relative strength, making lower highs. We had that stock cross to the downside. Then we had this big drop right here. That was about 38%. So it's important to take advantage of those things if you're swing trading this market. If we get into the technicals here for Litecoin, what we're looking at is a 2 sell, a 9 neutral, and a 15 buy overall. Oscillators 1 sell, 8 neutral, and a 2 buy. What you're going to see is our momentum's a buy, our MACD level is going to be a sell, bull bear power is going to be a buy, and the rest is basically neutral right now. And that's typical for these symmetrical triangles. Like we said, once we do break out to the top, if that does, or if that becomes the case there and we get this breakout, you always want to look for heavy volume. That's going to tell you if it's a true breakout or not. Okay, so now what I wanted to do was get into coin market cap here, guys. And so many people hate on Litecoin. Guys, what's it? Number 9 right now. And you can see how many people have it on their watch list. 324 right now. The volume is up 13.1%. We're looking at $3.5 billion, a little over $3.5 billion of total volume right now. So that's really nice volume coming in. Our overall market cap's at $13.306 billion. And what you can see for Litecoin, I always like to look at this on the line graph. So you can see here we have not even broken past those all-time highs of 2017 where we had candle closes up above about $350 right in that range. Okay, so we're not there yet. And what you'll notice is if we go into this on the one-day time frame here, or on the 1 year, excuse me, looking at this line graph, whenever we have these big pumps, you can see heavy volume. When we've been selling off, the volume's been lighter. And that's what you want to look for. Okay, so typically in uptrend, you're going to have that big expanding volume, and then when you have the sell-offs, it's going to contract. You're not going to have that huge swell of volume. It's the opposite in bear markets. Bear markets, when you have that big push down, it's going to be on heavy volume. Then when you rise, it's going to be on light volume. And a lot of people don't pay attention to volume, guys. I've read books just on volume alone. That's how important it is. So I would always pay attention to the volume. And as we go down through the statistics here, you can see our 24-hour low was about 191. Our high has been $200. So we got to crack that 200. You can see market dominance. We're only at 0.71%, guys. I mean, Litecoin really hasn't even taken that much dominance yet, and that shows that it could have much more room to run. If we go to how do you feel about Litecoin today, I'm going to say good. And you can see 86% of people say good, 14% of people say bad. If we go into more, this is really important for us to look at as well. Just the all-time highs. So right here, the all-time high that we ever made it up to was $375. And you can see we are still off that almost 50%. So we still have some more room to run, in my opinion. All-time low, this was in 2015, $1.11. Overall return on investment for Litecoin, over 4,000%. Guys, when you can get in these coins with lower supplies like that, and if there's some where you can get them at $4, $5, $6 and it's a low supply, that's what you're looking for, because when money comes into that, it can really run hard, fast, and aggressively. Now, if we take a look at this year here, I want to go into market cap next. Overall market cap, this year, the highest we made it up to was almost about $16 billion. So we're going to have to crack $16 billion at the top of this symmetrical triangle if we are to break up through that, and I definitely think that's possible. If we go into the all for our market cap, the highest we've been is about 19, right in that range. We were looking at it down here, but about, I would say off this chart, roughly about $18-19 billion is what we've gotten up to before. And in my opinion, guys, Litecoin could be one that down the road potentially could be, 50 billion, 60 billion, up in that range, maybe even more if we see some overperformance. And what I like to do for that, and this is how you can calculate other coins I want to show you here. So what you do, we would basically say, all right, I think, Litecoin could get to 50 billion. So let's put 50 billion out here. And we're going to divide that by the circulating supply of 66 million. Let's do this here, 415. And that shows if we were able to get to that 50 billion market cap, we would be looking at roughly about a $750 Litecoin. And that's what all of us are looking for. I mean, that would be amazing if we could get up to that point. But it's going to take volume. It's going to take buying pressure. But another thing I want everyone to notice here is you can see the BTC dominance is dropping. We've been watching it since around 62, 63. Now it's down to 58.9. And that's what we want. We want some money trickling out of Bitcoin, which I'll show you here. Bitcoin's still doing well. We're going on $60,000, but we'll want some of this big market cap to start trickling down into Ethereum, then into some of the other coins as well. That's what I'm always looking at, but pay very close attention to that symmetrical triangle. If we go back to TradingView here, this is the main thing here. We got to continue this move to the upside. We want this to be a continuation pattern, not a reversal pattern. So if you get something from this, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. God bless each and every one of you. Take care, my friends.